I wanted to like Monster Hunter World, I really did. As a newcomer to the series, I thought it would be a good entry point, but as I played it, it never got any fun. It's by no means a bad game, it's just a multiplayer game first, which isn't my thing. But first, let's talk about the good. As a multiplayer game, Monster Hunter World requires you to coordinate action RPG combat as a team, because blindly swinging your sword will interrupt your teammates. So points for being a fun way for friends to kill giant beasts together while still requiring some team coordination. There are also plenty of weapon types that have their own unique style and moveset, so there's bound to be at least one class that clicks with someone. To the game's credit, it feels like it has an endless amount of content, and the more you play it, the more it opens up. For the short time I had, it never felt like I had to grind by replaying the same quest over and over again, because there's so much optional and timed content in addition to the main campaign. Each level is a well-designed playground to hunt monsters. You'll be climbing walls, hiding in bushes, and failing at plunging attacks, all in order to take down your prey. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then have at it. I'm sure it's a blast with friends, but I review games based on how they will be once the servers are shut down and the fan base has moved on to the next installment, or whatever. Okay, now that that's out of the way, here are the reasons why I dropped Monster Hunter World. There's a story in Monster Hunter World, but it's mostly there as a formality. You're chasing this giant lava monster thing after it sunk your ship during your voyage to a new world. After the destruction, it turns out you and your partner are the only survivors. Okay, I lied about that last part. That would have given your character those pesky things that are in every compelling story. What are those again? Oh yeah, motives. You're also not completely stranded either, because you meet up with an already established camp of hunters. And then the story pretty much falls asleep, which is fine because Monster Hunter World doesn't really want to focus on that. You're here to kill monsters, fuck everything else. You know how RPGs will give your character a generic nickname in order to not break immersion? Yeah, this game straight up does that to everybody. But at least you'll have your cat-like companion to help you out and have a name. In my Persona 5 review, I mentioned how I was thankful that I wasn't beat over the head with cat puns throughout the game. Yeah, you won't be nearly as lucky in this one.
Huh. Meowdy-doo.
What? You're telling me you're not feline the cat puns? What are you, a pussy? Cat puns are perfect! Oh god, I wish I was dead. Yeah, that's pretty much every sentence when these guys are involved. But again, Capcom put as much effort into the story as they did in hit detection in the hub world. Hey, design your game however you want, but when you write off the story, you're gonna lose the interest of the story nerds like me. I can play tons of games with fine-tuned gameplay, but it's the story at the end of the day that keeps me invested. While the combat is deep and brimming with potential, it gets stunted by the boring enemies. Their hitboxes can be a bit off, and bosses feel like damage sponges that are a few attacks short in order to keep the players on their toes. Basically, I got bored. Although my biggest problem is that they run away every 5 fucking minutes. Let's call this what it is. This is blatant padding to make the game longer. And I get it, they're not just gonna stand there and let players kill them. But what it boils down to is following your glowing trail to them, only to have them attack on sight. It's a waste of time. There's no challenge in tracking them, and you don't really even need to use stealth to get the jump on them, so you'd just be better off not blueballing the player 3 times a mission and killing the pace of the action. Monster Hunter World might also have one of the worst UIs I've ever seen. The text is too damn small for my old ass eyes. When you use the item bar, the damn quick wheel, which also sucks, pops up every time you move your character. And there's way too much inventory management for my taste. It actively ruins the rest of the momentum that the fleeing monsters don't kill. But hey, at least you can set auto crafting for regularly used items, so I guess that's a plus. Again, assuming you haven't disliked the video already, Monster Hunter World is a perfectly fine game. It's just not for me. On top of being more multiplayer focused, I just can't get into games that have you taking on monsters for the sake of crafting better items to take on stronger monsters. It's an endless cycle that doesn't interest me. I need context and character motives on top of a well-built world, damn it. So if any of what I complained about sounds like a deal breaker, play at your own risk. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It seems like everyone's loving this game, except for me, but again, I'm a single player guy. Feel free to do the YouTube thing and tell me your thoughts on Monster Hunter World. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Were there any critiques or positives that I missed? Feel free to let me know. I have some more videos in the works, and they should come out sooner than the normal 1 month of waiting. Anyway, later.